This is Ricky Diamond, and if you're listening right now, you're probably hiding from something. Maybe it's your phone, maybe it's just the silence. Maybe you're just running from the person staring back at you in the mirror every morning when you wake up. I'm not going to ask who you are. I don't care about your name or where you work, what car you drive. None of that matters right now. None of it means anything if you can't look yourself in the eye without flinching. If I get emotional, we keep it, because perfection is a lie. They sell us so we stay asleep. So let's talk about why you're not tired, or why you're tired. Not just sleepy, not just burnout from working late nights and drinking too much coffee and energy drinks to fix the fatigue. I'm talking about that heavy feeling in your chest that makes it hard to breathe when you walk into a room full of people who love you but don't know you. We're living through an epidemic of loneliness disguised as connection. You got thousands of followers and nobody to call at 3 a.m. when the panic hits. That's the truth. And I'm saying that because I've been there, not just once, but for years, when I was sitting in the dark wondering if anyone would even notice if I stopped breathing. People think success is about money. They think it's about fame or followers or whatever. Real success is waking up not needing a distraction to feel okay. It's being able to sit in your own head for 5 minutes without reaching for a screen like it's oxygen. Man, most of us are just addicts. We don't just call ourselves that because an addiction looks different than heroin or pills. For some people, it's work. You grind so hard you forget why you started grinding. You climb the ladder and realize the wall is too high to jump over. So you just stay on the rung, shaking, sweating, terrified of falling, but too proud to admit that you're stuck. And for others, it's just escape. The drink, the food, the shopping, the scrolling, anything to keep the quiet from getting loud enough to tell you that you're dead inside when you're still alive. I remember a night years ago, I was in a hotel room, didn't know where I was going next. Money was low, ego was high, heart was empty. I called my best friend. He didn't even pick up. So I sat there and stared at the wall for hours, just watching the shadows dance in the light from the street lamps outside. And I realized something terrifying. If nobody knew I was sitting there, would it be like I never existed? That's not a movie plot, that's just a typical Tuesday for half of us. We build these identities around what we do. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a father, I'm a survivor, and those things are good, they're important. But they aren't you, they're costumes you wear to protect the fragile kid underneath who's still scared of all the rejection and failure and being seen as just ordinary. We're terrified of being ordinary. Because if we're ordinary, then our suffering doesn't matter. If we're special, then the pain has meaning. So we suffer in secret, but we perform it publicly. We post about the struggle to get the likes on the struggle. We monetize the trauma so we can afford the therapy that tells us how to fix the trauma. It's a circle. A painful circle, but a circle nonetheless. I see guys out there, they think vulnerability is weakness. They think admitting you're scared makes you soft. Well, let me tell you something about masculinity. Real strength is not just feeling anything. It's more than buying a suit that makes you look like you own the world when you're actually drowning in debt. We need to stop pretending that we have it all figured out. Nobody does. Not even me. I'm sitting here talking about this because I almost died from my own ego, from my own refusal to ask for help. I thought asking for help was a sign of surrender. Turns out it's the only way to actually win. You know what culture wants you to believe? They want you to think if you just push harder, you'll get there. That if you just work 6 days instead of 5 or sleep 4 hours instead of 8, you'll unlock the secret code. But here's the secret they don't tell you in the motivational videos. There is no secret code. There's just hard work and luck and timing. And sometimes there's just bad luck. Sometimes life hands you a hand that sucks, and you have to play it anyway without screaming at the dealer or blaming the whole world for the hand you've been dealt. It's okay not to be okay. We need to say that louder than we usually do. You don't need to apologize for your mental health. You don't need to hide your anxiety because people might think you're weak. Anxiety is just your brain trying to tell you to protect yourself from the threat it can't identify. It's trying to keep you safe by making you paranoid, and sometimes the only way to shut that voice up is to acknowledge it and say, Yeah, I'm scared, shit, and I'm just gonna have to move through this. That's not ignoring the fear. That's walking through it with the lights on. I had a conversation once with a guy who made millions before he was 30. He lost it all in 6 months, and when I asked him how he felt, he didn't talk about money. He talked about losing his name. He said people stopped seeing him as a person and started seeing him as an asset. When the asset depreciated, so did the value. It's lonely to be valuable only for what you produce. And if that's how you're living, you need to wake up before you burn out your own soul trying to maintain a brand that doesn't love you back. So what do? We start small. Put that damn phone down, look at the sky, call someone and don't ask them for anything. Just say, I miss you, or I'm thinking about you. Or just sit in silence and let your thoughts be messy without trying to edit them into a speech. Stop curating your life for an audience that doesn't give a shit. Live it for the people who are actually there with you. The ones who see you when you're tired, when you haven't showered, when you made a mistake and feel like you should hide forever. Those are the real connections. Those are the ones that really care about you. And if you don't have those, then go find them or build those relationships. It takes time. It takes risk. You might get rejected. You might be told no. But that's better than being surrounded by people who only love the version of you they see on a damn screen. We're in a war for our attention right now. Big tech companies have armies of psychologists and engineers designing apps to steal your time so they take it to sell to advertisers. They know your triggers, they know what makes you angry or insecure, and they push those buttons until you're too exhausted to fight back. You're a human being, not a data point. Stop letting them turn you into a product that they rent out and take by the minute. Take your time back, take your peace back. It's yours. Nobody can give it to you except yourself. I know this sounds like I'm preaching from a mountaintop, but I'm not on a mountaintop. I'm sitting in a studio with bad lighting, cheap coffee, trying to make sense of the chaos we're all living through. And I want you to know that I see you. I see the struggle. I see the effort. I see the people who are doing their best on days when being alive is just too damn heavy in itself. Don't stop now. Keep going, even if it's slow, even if you have to crawl. There's no prize for speed in this game of life. The only prize is getting to the end without losing yourself along the way. And that's what I want for all of us, to get through this life and still recognize ourselves when we see our reflection, you know? There's one more thing, a truth about death. We talk about it like it's some kind of scary monster under our bed, but death is just the end of the suffering if you choose to live right. It reminds us that time is just time and we don't have a whole lot of it. And every second we spend worrying about what people think or scrolling through the photos of other people's lives is a second that we took from our own existence. So ask yourself, if today was your last day, would you be proud of how you spent it? Or would you just wish you had done something real instead of just chasing the next hit of validation? I'm not saying go do something crazy. I'm saying go do something that's true. Talk to someone who needs a friend. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you made when you didn't know better, and stop waiting for permission to start living again. You have it. You always did. This show that's being put on right now, this is us trying to find that truth together. It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to mess up. We're going to mess up. We'll say things we'll regret. We'll get emotional and bitch on the mic if we have to. Because this isn't a performance for a crowd, it's a conversation between humans who want to feel less alone in this madness. So if you're listening, I want to say thank you for showing up, for listening when it hurts. Keep your head up, keep your heart open, and remember, you're not broken. You just need to be fixed by the right tools and the right people. I'll be back next time with more of this, more truth, more chaos, and more real talk. Until then, don't let them win. Don't let the noise of this world drown out your voice or your thoughts. Since this is my first show, I want to thank you all for listening.